These are the colors I'm using. I'm using size 7 circular needles, 24 inches. So we start off with our darkest color, and we're going to cast on 26 stitches. So let's make a slip knot. We twist the yarn and grab the one underneath and pull it. And tighten it on our needle. Okay, and this is how I hold, like this. Do it again. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Do this 26 times. Okay, so for row 1, we're going to knit. So we have our needle in the front and we push it in the back. And then we get our working yarn and go over and around and slide it off. So we're working in the stockinette stitch. Row 1 we knit, row 2 we purl, and we're doing the same color in row 2. Okay, front to back, bring it over and around. All the way to the end of the row. Here's our last one, and then we flip it over. Now we're on the wrong side, where all the bumps are. So row 2, we purl. So our yarn is in front, and we bring our needle from the back to the front. And this is how I hold my yarn. I just kind of twist it on my pinky. Back to front. Back to front. Back to front. Bring it around. Back to front. Okay. And all the way to the end of the row. Okay, now row 3, we're on the right side, so we knit, and we're going to change our color. So you get your second color, and then you make a loop, and you have a tail, and you just put the loop, put it over your right needle, and then you knit. This is really loose, so we have to make this one pretty tight. Okay, and then I knitted with the tail so that it just stays on. And I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, and then you just knit without the tail with your working yarn all the way. So that's how you add a color. And for row 4, you're going to purl, and then I will show you how to do row 5. Okay, so this is what you do for row 5. Okay, so we're going to put our needle in, and then we're going to go around like this so that they kind of twist, right? And then it picks up this white yarn. Okay? Or you can just make sure that this is on the bottom and it carries it like that. Okay. Does that make sense? You just kind of want to carry it with it. Okay. Do this for 74 rows, ending with your first color. Okay, so I've done 74 rows. Now we need to bind off purlwise so that it matches the end of our cast on. Okay, so you purl 2 stitches, and then you grab your first stitch and you pull it over your second stitch and off the needle. Alright, now we have 1 stitch. We need to purl another one so that we can have 2 stitches on the right needle. And then grab our first stitch and bring it over our second. Pull it off. Okay, so just keep doing this all the way to the end of the row. Okay, so when you only have your last stitch on here, you pull it out like this, enough to weave the ends later. And then you grab your scissors and cut it. Then you pull the remainder out. Okay, and that is what it looks like. Cut your other yarn as well, enough to weave ends. So what I did here is, you're supposed to start in the middle of one of the shorter edges, right? So I just counted, I'm going through these holes right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? And so I went through the next one and I'm going to do 12 on this side, and I just wanted to show you what it's looking like. And I started off by just, you know, how we changed colors. You put it through the loop, right? Okay, so this is what you do. You put your yarn in your right hand. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do the 10th one. So I grab this little bar right here, put it on my needle, and then I just bring the yarn over. Like that. Now we need to do 2 more. Put it through. Bring your yarn around. Okay? And I find that this is the easiest way to do it. But if you have another method, then go for it. Okay, so now I have 12 of them. I'm supposed to place my marker. And then I'm going to pick up the stitches on this side. So I'm going to go through this one, and I'm going to go through both stitches. 1. Okay, so make sure it's so much easier if you go through only 1 strand, not 2. So don't go through 2 of these like that, because it just gets too tight. So I just go and grab like my stitch right there. Okay, so I need to grab, you have to grab each color. So my mint, white, white, mint, white, white, mint, mint, white. And this is my second white. Okay, so let's do our mint. See, because it's looser, and so it's a lot easier to get your needle through and out. Now let's pick up our next mint. Because you did 74 rows, right? And we have to pick up 74 stitches. So you're going to need to pick up each stitch at the end. And so 2 different colors is how you figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to do my white. Pull on it so it stays kind of loose. And now our next one. Right? Ooh, 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 ooh. Let's try that again. Okay, just like that. So 74 stitches on this side. Loosen it up. Don't want it that tight. There we go. Alright, that's what mine's looking like. Continue picking up stitches as written in the pattern. I placed a marker at the beginning of the round so I know where to start each round. And we continue knitting in the round in 2-row striped sequence. So we knit, 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 knit. Not boring at all. So round 2, we're going to start with our next color because we already did 2 rows of our cream. Rounds 2 and 6 are decrease rounds, so we're going to knit 1 stitch before our first stitch marker, and we're going to make 1. Okay, so see this bar right here? We pick it up from the back to the front, right? And then we knit through the back, like that. And then we knit 1, and then make 1. Front to back. And then we knit it, okay? And then we do this 3 more times. Okay, so this is round 3. I'm going to do my mint color, but I want to bring this yarn with me. So all I do is twist it so that this yarn is on the top of this one, okay? Then you just knit rows 3, 4, 5. Round 6 you increase like you did round 2. And then you just knit until your piece measures 11 inches. Okay, this is what mine looks like. And you're supposed to have your first round done. And with your second round is when we knit to 11 stitches past our first marker. This just shows me where my round began. And this one is actually my first marker, okay? So let's knit to that. We knit to 11 stitches past our first marker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay? And then we knit 2 together and knit 4 10 times. This is how we knit 2 together, and then we knit 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this was our first time. We do it 9 more times. Knit 2 together, and then knit 4. Okay? Okay, so I actually have 7 stitches before my second marker. So just thought I'd let you know. And then we do the same thing. We knit. We pass our second marker, and then we go to our third marker. And then we knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we do our knit 2 together. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, knit 4, knit 2 together, knit 4. Okay? The same thing we did the first time. Now we knit 3 rounds, so we're starting our next color. We're going to do 3 rounds. This will be our first round. Just knit them. Okay, so I knitted 11 stitches past my stitch marker. And now we're going to bind off. So we knit 2 together, and then we knit 1. Then we bring our stitch over and off our second stitch. And then we knit 1. And then we bring this over, okay? And now we knit 2 together, and then bring our stitch over and off. And now we knit 1, bring our stitch over, and then we knit 2 together, and we knit 1. Okay? We do this until we have 11 stitches before our stitch marker. Alright? Okay, and then I knit 2 together, and I knit 1, okay, and then we do the same thing on our third marker. So this is what mine looks like. We finished the round. Cut your yarn. So this is where we bound off and we finished the round. And now we're going to move these stitches back on our left needle so I can place them on our stitch holder, okay? Now that they're on our left needle, place them on your stitch holder. If you don't have one, then you can put them on a scrap of yarn or a smaller straight needle. Just make sure they don't fall off while you're working on the other 50 stitches. Okay, so I'm putting all of these onto this stitch holder. And you need to also cut your second strand. And then we start on the right side facing, and you're going to join with your next color. So you do a loop, and you knit all 50 stitches, okay? On the wrong side row, we purl 2 together. And then you purl all the way across to the last 2 stitches. And then I'll show you what we do there. Okay, so these are my last 2 stitches. Remember, I knitted with my tail, so that's why it looks like there's 3, but there's only 2. 1, 2. Okay? Now purl 2 together through the back loop. So you put your needle, it's best to just twist it like this, and then you have it in the front. So that's what it should look like, okay? And voila! Instead of going this way, knitting 2 together, we go from the front to the back, like that. Okay? Just like that. Do it again. Front to the back. And then we need to change our yarn color. Knit all the way into the last 2 stitches. And then we knit those 2 together. Keep doing this until you have 34 stitches left on your needle. Now we just work straight, which means we don't increase, until your strap measures 16 inches. And then you start measuring from here. So you just knit 1 row, purl 1 row, knit 1 row, purl 1 row, till 16 inches. And we purl 2 together. And then we purl 2 together through the back loop, like that. Bring it around. And then you just knit these 2 together, okay? Pull it out. And cut it. Alright, now do the other side. There you go. Now make the other strap with the remaining 50 stitches the same way, but to a length of 25 inches before shaping the tip, so it'll be a little longer. And then you're done!